Are we recording? Yeah, okay. I pressed record, I couldn't tell. I pressed record, I pressed record, I What's good, y'all? Riley Sleeps here, and today we're gonna talk about making dark trap melodies, okay? I know I did a video about sad guitar, Juice WRLD melodies, etc, etc. I showed you how to just make melodies in general, but we're gonna get a little bit more specific now. We're gonna talk about dark trap melodies. Maybe even we'll go further and get a little bit artist specific as time goes on, but I just want to give you all the basics as best I can. So if you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be huge for me, for you, for the algorithm. You never know, it could solve climate change. So let's get into it. Now, I haven't made a beat in a lower BPM, and I say lower BPM as in anything below 140 in a while. I'm not even making a beat, I'm just making a melody, but whatever. I already got D minor loaded up, which is good. So something to keep in mind when you're making your darker melodies is that you want notes to be one semitone apart. And this is what one semitone apart looks like. And this just builds tension. So I'm just gonna lay down some very basic chords. Dark beats typically they're not too complex chord-wise. So with this, I kind of just threw together a really basic chord progression, just going 1, 1, 6, 6. I'm keeping this middle note, this little tension building going on throughout. And then even here I have some more tension building in, which leads into this next chord here. This is the 7th of the chord, so I'm just kind of using the 7th, the 3rd here. Kind of how I'm constructing these chords, mainly just focusing on what's in common. So I have the 3rd of this chord being the 5th of this chord. I can use that. And then also the 1 of this chord being the 3rd of this chord, so it kind of smoothly transitions. That's the vibe. So that's good and all. I want to add more with the bass notes, bring that down. I'm just going to copy that and bring it down, add a few notes here and there, and then I think I'm going to add a little bit more bounce with the melody. So I just added these two notes here kind of as a transition from this chord to that chord, and then from this chord back into the first chord. So just kind of transitioning the bass notes, so they're close together and they work in my opinion. So I think that's all good and dandy. So I was thinking of adding a bit more bounce in the top end because it is pretty stagnant. So I'm thinking, I like what I have here, but I'm thinking I could add a little bit more in that regard. Something up around here in this area would be nice. Let's see what I come up with. I really feel like 3rd notes would be kind of crazy on this. So here's what I came up with. I just used some 3rd steps, kind of just arpeggiated some notes, mainly stuck around what would build some more tension, just to kind of stay in that dark vibe. And I do think some crazy counter melodies could go on here. I'm not really going to add them in here. I think I might want to flesh out the chords a bit actually. So I fleshed out the chords a bit more, added the 7th here, which kind of leads back into the 1 over here. That kind of just flows a bit better. Here's how this sounds so far. Now I'm going to change the instrument. I do think I want to keep with the piano. I don't make dark trap melodies too often, but I think a lot of the time they do use piano or some kind of synth or something. Kind of this gives me a little bit of a little baby vibe, so we'll stick with that and see where we go. I'm thinking a flute could fit on this pretty nice too, so I'm going to bring up a flute. Here's the flute melody I came up with, and I'm thinking I'm definitely going to add another layer, another counter melody just to go along with the flute because I have some ideas. So here's how this sounds. So with this melody, again, I was trying to keep with that building tension. You got these notes here for that, and then you also have these notes here, which will have some tension as well. What kind of bell am I going for? I always hate going through atmosphere bells because I don't like the sound. They sound goofy to me. Give me a good bell, please. One that doesn't suck. I'll use this. I don't care. I'm probably not gonna use this. I actually care. So FL Studio just kind of crashed. Yo, my chair's squeaky as hell. So FL crashed, some audio issues occurred, but I fixed them. I also kind of arranged the whole thing into a beat, but I didn't really do too much outside of the melody, other than just kind of adding in the bell, mixing it a bit. So I found a bell sound I liked in Omnisphere, and then I kind of just, all I did was I EQ'd out a lot of the frequencies and just added a bit of reverb to make it a bit more spacious. Here's how the bell sounds on its own. Here's how the full melody sounds together. And so I arranged this whole thing as a beat, just to kind of show y'all how the whole thing would kind of fit together in the end. If you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate that. You'd greatly appreciate it. The UN might even appreciate it. You never know, there's only one way to find out. So why don't you find out? And here's the full thing. All the drums are muted, so I have to redo that again. And here's the full thing.